Brandon, graphic artist and artist for the comic book and video game industry for about 9 years now. The artist and co-creator on the graphic novel Magic Cop that is live on Indiegogo right now. And I'm just one half of the two best looking brothers in the whole comic book industry. And today we're going to be doing another movie poster review. And in fact, there are several movie posters that we're going to be talking about today. So let's see what we have. So we're going to be talking about the Joker movie, which is actually coming out today, October 4th. And let's take a look at some of these posters. There's actually 10 posters. From what I understand, none of these are fan-made, so these are all theatrical release posters. And I think these two are particularly cool. We're going to touch those pretty soon. These are two more obscure posters, and then the two classic posters I'm sure everybody's seen in the theaters. So let's get started here. One really important thing that I think is really awesome that they've done here on all but one of these posters is that they have used a singular logo. As you could see on everything here, everything has this same Joker logo except for this one here. And I think that's really, really important for brand recognition. I think that this logo, even though it's simply just text, I think that this could be something that could be easily recognizable. If this film makes it into kind of cinema history, I think that by sticking with this singular font as their title logo, I think that's going to be really good, making everything easily recognizable for the customer, which is exactly what you want to do because, you know, brand recognition and avoiding consumer confusion is very, very important as far as a business strategy goes. All right, so let's dive into these two posters right here. I do remember seeing this one in the theater a long, long time ago, and you know, it showcases the Joker really, really well. It's got the giant face offset with the dark background. Here on this poster, we can see his green hair, which is very indicative of the Joker. He has the longer hair, kind of like the newer Joker. But he doesn't have a classic Joker makeup here. But because of the messy nature of the makeup, this is kind of giving you a sense of realism for the movie. And this is basically conveying a character to the audience because even though we have Joaquin Phoenix's name here fairly big, it's even bigger on this poster over here, but Joaquin Phoenix is a very, very strong character actor, and so he is giving you a character. It really doesn't matter that Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker here. The only thing that you're getting a base, you know, like a bonus off of that is knowing that Joaquin Phoenix is such an excellent character actor. But here we're conveying the Joker persona, and that's what this giant face here is telling us, and that's pretty cool. Over here we get something a little bit different. We have him in profile, so we get a little bit more emotion. We have the hands here, but this part right here is giving us some emotion. This is the tear. Another very, very character-driven poster. We have the text here, the date, pretty classic stuff. Everything here is very simple, easy to read because it's not really about what's going on over here. It's really what's happening on this side of the poster here. Very large face, conveying a lot of emotion to the viewer. This is really excellent because this movie is a really psychologically driven movie from what we could see in the trailers. And that's what we're getting from these posters. These two posters are doing a really good job at conveying that to us. All right, let's go to some of these other posters. A lot of these posters are using different techniques, which is really interesting because a lot of times with movies, what you'll see now are, you know, a collection of actors' heads, you know, all over the poster, and then you have the one guy in the middle or whatever. These posters here are doing a really different, they're telling a different story. You could see here another character-driven piece, a very large head. We have a very bright jacket offset on this black background. And then over here we have the white and the red, and that is brought to us again down here with the white and the red of the text, which is a pretty nice touch that kind of brings everything together. And then let's hide this one here. Over here we have the white. So this is kind of two different types of posters. This is why I kind of linked them together so we could talk about them at the same time. Let's get rid of that stuff. All right, so we have the bright jacket, and then we have the kind of faces and profile of both posters. But the negative space on this poster is black, and the negative space on this poster is white. And you know, normally you're not going to see these two posters next to each other in the theater. You're going to be walking down the corridor. You're probably going to see one or the other or something like that. But this is actually a really cool duality because, you know, the character of the Joker in this movie being the normal man, and then his transition into, you know, having the psychosis of the Joker. This is pretty cool because he has a lot of vacant space up here and a lot of dark vacant space up here. And these posters are using that to drive you towards the character's head and what's going on in the head up here. I think that's really cool. We got this green sleeve. So, you know, we're really showcasing the same thing in two very different ways here. We also have the green hair up here, really driving home that this is a Joker from the Gotham City, you know, Batman villain Joker. Interestingly, no Batman is ever seen in the trailer, and no Batman is ever seen on any of these posters, which is really, really hitting it home that this is a Joker movie and this is not a Batman movie whatsoever. Again, we have the singular text-driven logo down here. Pretty cool. And then, you know, your classic stuff, Joaquin Phoenix. You know, they're doing a good job with that. These two I had not seen at all. These are really, really cool pieces here, especially this one. I like this one a lot. I am a huge fan of like the classic hand-painted movie poster. I love the way that looked. You get a lot of heavy contrast that's driven down just by the artist adding, you know, contrast in and darkness wherever they see fit. It's kind of hard to simulate that with a photo, unfortunately. And, you know, as cool as, like, let's say, you know, these posters are, you know, the hard shadow that you have over here, you know, it's not as hard. It's not as deliberate. It just kind of, it's there. It's too soft. You know, you're not doing too much cool stuff as you are with like these guys. Look at how cool this is painted here. You know, you get so much effect. Well, what would this look like if it was done in Photoshop? It probably wouldn't, you know, it probably would not look as cool. I just love this so much. This is interesting here. We have the brown hair and then a little bit of the green hair. I like these posters. I put them together because they show the duality of what the Joker movie and the character is going to be about. And you really don't get that in either or any of the other posters that we've looked at or we're going to be looking at. Obviously, you know, the black space here because we're really driving home that this is the character that we're supposed to be focusing on. He has the, you know, the hand here. We don't know if this is from somebody else attacking him or if this is from, you know, him kind of wiping away his own veil, revealing the true identity underneath, which is the Joker. You know, very, very cool design. I like the darkness in here. I really, really can't stress it enough how much I love this painted style. And then over here, again with the same logo, and then, you know, all of the standard information over here. You know, they have the Joaquin Phoenix there. You know, they're showing you that the guy who's playing this Joker is no joke. You know, he is an excellent character actor, so you're going to be getting something cool out of that. So, you know, that's important to put on here if that's what you're driving home about. This poster on the right here is obviously meant to look like a playing card. I think this poster is really, really cool. It is a very classic style of the framing around the edge. I always love to see that because that's kind of classic and kind of like pulpy, kind of, garagey, a little bit of not as like big budget film, but I don't think that it's deliberate to meant to look pulpy or garagey on here. I think that it's just, a backdrop for this playing card. I love this playing card that they've made on here. It's very worn, showing us the kind of the state of everything that's going on. It's conveying a good message. Interesting here how we have, the text is reading like this. This is obviously the bottom of the poster. We have Joker reading here, Joker reading upside down, and then we have, here's some more text, and then we have some text over here, which I'll get back to in a second. But the drippings or the melting is happening in the up direction from, the Joker the man and Joker the character. And then also there is, this is pretty interesting here too. This is a really, really deeply designed poster. This is probably one of the, I would have to say, this is probably one of the more deeply designed posters. If you look at this, Joker's smiling, but if we flip it over and then we look at the guy, he's quite sad. I love it. That's awesome. I think that's so cool. Very, very good. Very, very good. Whoever designed this poster, excellent job. I love the texture they put in on here. It's just, there's nothing here that's really, really meant to specifically draw in the eye. We have the colors, we have the lighter color space here. It's just all about the head on here. But the main thing is here that this is meant to look like a playing card. It's meant to be clever, but the depth in this actual poster is all within this piece right here. There's so much depth just happening between this smile and the junction and the melting going upward instead of down, and it's just brilliant. This is probably my favorite Joker poster right here. I think this is something that if I were going to be a fan of this movie, I would definitely put this up on my wall. I think this is excellent. And also, none of the other posters so far have actually had a tagline on it. Put on a happy face, which is really interesting that they used it on here. I think that's really, really cool. All right, let's see the other guys. These two are really interesting. I was doing some research online, and obviously this is the IMAX, one of the IMAX posters. Of course, we're going to highlight that it's in IMAX. You got to see this movie. I remember when IMAX was specifically for seeing like not movies, but like documentaries and stuff. So we have your big IMAX font. It's kind of in a drab color, not to distract you too much from the background. Then we have your Joker logo down here. And then we have, for the first time so far, we have the full body shot of the Joker here. And this is pretty important because there's one thing that's really going on here, and this is a classic poster design, classic design, graphic design use here of the fire, which is a sign of conflict and violence. And it's a car, but that kind of doesn't matter too much. But it seems like he's embracing the conflict and violence that's happening here. He seems quite satisfied with what's going on, and that's pretty cool. This one does have a lot of classically graphic design, movie poster design elements to it. Black background, which is in a circle, which is bringing us towards the center here. Obviously the fire, which is very classic graphic design for movie posters. We have this orange down here offset with the blue. This orange is making a circle. We have the blue and the orange being complementary colors. So it's really bringing the eye right here into your character. The arms pointing up, the legs pointing up, all bringing you to the Joker who's right there in the center. This is another brilliantly designed poster. It's just classic graphic design brilliance. There's just not too much more you could say about that. It's just elements upon element upon element upon element of graphic design. I wish it didn't have this IMAX thing up here, but without that, say you get rid of this, you get rid of this, this would be a really cool piece of art just in general. I think that it doesn't matter that it's a movie poster. I think this people would, how cool would this look on a shirt? This piece of art is it's just great. Over here on the right, we have another example of the color play that they're using. We have this diagonal slice here, which is giving us kind of that uneasy, kind of teeter-totter feeling here. And then we have so much white space up here, which is just bringing you down to the character. Another profile shot for emotion. This one from the low angle, he's looking down. This one's full of emotion. This angle here is giving you emotion. This negative space is giving you emotion. The way he's looking, he's just kind of got this like mouth, the way his mouth is going on. He's just not having a good day. I think that the buildings in the background being super dingy and everything, it's setting up a really nice feeling and tone. This is kind of like almost like a documentary poster. It really makes you feel like you're going to follow the journey of this man as he kind of descends into whatever, maybe he has a drug addiction problem, or maybe he's, has some sort of psychological disorder, but he's going to be descending down. And then we have the green hair, we have the red jacket again, and then this is actually, from what I understand, this is a Regal Cinemas exclusive poster. So I think there's like a limited number of them or something like that. Pretty interesting because none of the other posters look like this at all. So this is going to be definitely something people want. And then, Joaquin Phoenix again up here with the standard font. And then, just put some pretty standard stuff on here. I wish this stuff was up here. That would be nice. All right. And then finally, we are on to probably the most out there posters. I think these are the ones that a lot of people have seen in the theater besides the two here at the bottom. You have, obviously this one is a very early poster. Coming Soon is very indicative of that. This one was much later. So we're going to start here on the left like we often do. And we're going to talk about this guy right here. So I was wrong. In fact, this one here has the tagline, "Put on a happy face." So this must have been very early, and they probably ditched that at some point because everything else since they added the date onto the posters have ditched that tagline. It's pretty interesting. All right. So we have the character down here, another profile shot, another emotion piece. This time he's a little bit more bludgeoned up and battered. It's kind of hard to tell. To me, this is kind of like an old pose of maybe like, one of those theater clowns or something like that. His arm is up in the air, and he's like doing this type of pose. Or he could be on the ground. I think the use of this smoke here is leaving it ambiguous. Is he beaten down onto the ground, or is he kind of up here in celebration with his arm, and then he's, doing one of these things? This is pretty cool. I think the ambiguity of this poster is nice. It's hard to see who this character is, though, on this poster. Because it's such an early poster, I think maybe they finally figured out that it was important to put him in this classic flamboyant garb, because here with like this polka dot shirt, he kind of just looks like maybe a Joker henchman. He doesn't really look like the Joker. You can't tell his hair is green, because his face here doesn't look like the classic Joker. He could just be like pretty much any person, really. I think that this poster here, probably not my favorite one. I think that once they added the red, they kind of have like this blue thing going on. There's too much blue here for it to be the Joker. I think they finally uh, came to the conclusion that they really need to show off the feeling of something else going on with these posters. This one's really interesting. The colors here are obviously so deliberate to bring you into the poster right front and center, because we have the drab buildings off to the side. We have, this lamppost and stuff. But this is a very classic use of this frame up. We have the big vacant center going down the middle here, this pillar, and then we're framed off with these things. Very classic. I think even like the Captain Marvel poster, one of the Captain Marvel posters, used this technique where she's standing here in the middle with her action pose and all that. So it's very, very popular, very classic. It goes back quite some time. But here we have the very colorful Joker being offset with this brown and dark drab staircase in the background. We could read into this a lot. There's, he's coming down. He's going down the steps, descending into what could be madness, what could be, insanity. We have the what are these, handrails zigzagging up and down, showing chaos and disorder. We have him kind of just jiving it up over here. I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, this is the classic meme now. It has become a meme of the Joker, of him dancing. So this is a really good poster. I think this is probably one of the best actual movie posters here. Like, the faces are good. I think this one probably drives home the point the best. There's this has a lot of ambiguity into it also. We have the character, but we don't know that he's so depressed like we get with these posters here off to the side with the faces, or like, here with these posters, we're probably going to be sitting and listening to the Joker talk about his problems. He's going to be sitting in a chair and telling us about it like some sort of documentary. Same thing with this poster here, this Regal Cinemas poster. I think the poster, this one here, and the one with the explosion, the IMAX poster, probably have the best chance of bringing me in to see the Joker movie because of the kind of Joker that I want to see on the screen. I'm not sure if I want to see this kind of Joker or this kind of Joker over here, but this one, this poster here is probably the best one for me and my demographic. But artistically and graphically, it's an excellent poster. The pose is good. We could kind of read into this too a little bit. It looks like there's a K right here and there's a J, so maybe there's like a JK going on. So that's pretty funny. So yeah, we got the Joker posters, and what do you guys think? Are you guys going to go see the movie? Are you going to get some of these posters? Which one of these posters is your favorite? Which one would you hang up on the wall here? Would you hang up like this one? This is a piece of art. Do you want like these exclusive pieces or something? Are you part of my mentality here and think that this is the coolest looking one? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, and check down in the description below because we have some cool links for Magic Cop and our Patreon page, and we'll see you guys next time.